Yeah, we'll continue. Alright, we'll move on. So we go to factors explaining why individuals conform to social expectations, including sanctions, social pressure, self-interest, and social exchange. So there's conformity, which means we comply to the rules and regulations. That is conformity. So what are the factors that make us to comply as individuals? So we read. Most of the time, most people conform to social expectation. Okay. Most of the time, most people conform to social expectations, like social life would not be possible if they did not. So we conform because we feel like if we don't conform, then the life will not be a better place. So the agencies of socialization, the family, the peers, education, media, and religion also act as agencies of social control. There are also some specialized agencies of social control, such as the police, that's the executive part of the government, and the legal system, the courts. Agencies are able to apply pressure to make people act in some ways and not others. One way they do this is through the use of positive and negative sanctions. So before we go into those sanctions those sanctions which are punishments or rewards, there's always social pressure which comes from the society, which comes from the peer, the people, the police, all these things. They just want the society to become a better place. So and for the society to become a better place, we need conformity. We don't need deviance. We don't need non-conformity. So what are the ways in which we can actually conform with the society? The first one, through positive sanctions. For positive sanctions, we're talking about rewards, encouraging people to do better in the society. So let's read. Positive sanctions like rewards are the pleasant things we do to make people behave in routine, predictable ways. This ranges from smiling, through praise and encouragement to gifts. So here, you're well done. Oh, you're just a good guy. You're well done, bravo. When you say this, these things are pleasant. So, and rewards also, like reward and gifts.
Yeah.
So these things make people to like, okay, I need to get these gifts. So I need this type of smile from my master, from my teacher. You know, when you get these things can influence the way we behave. So that's positive sanctions there. Then we have the negative sanctions, which are punishments. They are the reverse or the opposite of positive sanctions. They include not talking to people if they annoy us, frowns or words of disapproval, fines, taking away liberty, like your freedom, taking it away from you, putting people in prison, and the ultimate negative sanction is killing someone. So there's conformity. And because of conformity, I'm just quickly going to talk about functionalists. The functionalists, they believe there's a prison for those. Why do we have prisons? We have prisons. There's a prison because some people do not conform with the society. So they take them out of that society to put them in prison for them to understand the essence of being free. So when you are out, when they take liberty away from you, you are not free. So that would make you to appreciate freedom. So that might put you back into shape and make you to want to conform the next time. So those are ways in which conformity can be achieved through positive sanctions or negative sanctions. For positive sanctions, there are rewards. For negative sanctions, punishment that could be through fines, imprisonment, and the rest. So we'll go to social controls and how the forms of social control. The first one is formal. We have formal and non-formal social control anyway, or informal is the same as non-formal. So for formal controls, this involves written rules such as laws that apply equally to everyone in society. No one is above the law. So they also include non-legal rules that apply to everyone playing a particular role in an organization, such as school or factory. Sanctions are enforced by agencies of social control, for example, the police and the legal system. Formal controls tells everyone within a group exactly what is and is not acceptable behavior. Breaking these rules, deviance, I told you that earlier, right? That's non-conformity, may result in formal sanctions such as a fine or imprisonment for breaking the law or being sacked for breaking the company's organizational rules. So we have the formal controls, which talks about a legal way, a documented formality on acceptable behavior within the society. So if we don't conform with this behavior, if we don't comply with this behavior, then we could be sanctioned through imprisonment or being sacked from work if you are not going with the guidelines that you're given at workplace. So these are formal. Then we have informal. For informal controls, They come from people, the primary socialization mostly from the family and the friends. So let's read anyway. Informal control rewards or punish acceptable or unacceptable behavior in everyday settings, such as the family. These controls do not normally involve written rules and procedures. Rather, they operate through informal enforcement mechanisms that might include ridicule. You know what ridicule is like, okay? Saxing, disapproving looks, or personal violence. Such controls mainly apply to the regulation of primary relationships and groups. However, they may also be a friend or even a relative. Informal controls also relates to the unofficial rules we create. So for informal controls, we are in informal controls, right? So for informal control, it comes through the family, friends sometimes, but unofficial. For example, unless you are in a boxing ring, punching someone in the face is general. Are you there with me?
Yeah, boxing ring.
Yeah. However, they are exceptional because primary relationships can occur within secondary groups. A teacher, for example, let's start from there. A teacher, for example, may also be a friend or even a relative. Informal controls also relate to the unofficial rules we create in casual groups. A few of these rules might be applied generally. For example, unless you are in the boxing ring, punching someone in the face is generally regarded as unacceptable. However, the majority of unofficial rules are specific to a particular group. Swearing among friends, for example, may not invite sanction, but swearing at your mother or father might. Sometimes, yes. So look at it this way. It depends on the narrative we give to things. Sometimes in the class, your friends, you might swear with your friends, you might use some words with your friends, but when a teacher does that, then it becomes a sanction. Because the society doesn't want it that way. I think you understand. That's the point they're making there. So belonging to a group and wanting to continue to belong to it with the approval of the other group members is itself a strong form of social pressure. So ostracism is the exclusion of someone from a group, a very strong negative sanction that is a strong reason to conform to the group. So when they want you to conform in the group, they use ostracism with you. That means they take you, they separate you, they ignore you, they use whatever action to make sure that you know that you don't belong. So sometimes look at the WhatsApp group, they might delete you, they might, how do they do it? They take you away from the group. So like we have a WhatsApp group for fans, and so when you don't conform with what is being expected of you, they remove you from that group. So that's a form of conformity too. Though it is unofficial, it is informal because we are friends.
Yes.
But we need you to align with the norms of the group. So if you are not aligned, if you are not aligned with the norms of the group, then that means you are not conforming.
Yeah.
So they make you to conform by ignoring you, by taking you away from that group, until you understand the importance of being in that group. I think it's clear. So another factor in which influences people to conform most of the time is self-interest. In order to survive and live as a member of society, it is necessary to get on with others. We all need to cooperate with others, and we know that other people are less likely to support those who act in ways they disapprove of. Individuals therefore conform because they can see that it is in their own interest to do so. Another reason why we conform, we don't want to be. The first reason is because we are in a group, we don't want to be excluded from that group. So we conform as a result of that. We conform because we don't want to be excluded. That's the first point. The second one is we conform because of our own interest. I don't want to be seen as not part of the group. I don't want to be seen as different from the group.
Yeah.
So, and it's my own interest. I love the group. I want to be part of the group. So for me to be part of the group, that means I have to do things in that group. Yeah. So not because of that group anyway, but because of my interest in that group, then I have to conform. So that means I have to follow the rules that guide that group. Yeah. So the other reason is self-interest. So this can be extended to the idea of social exchange. This is a view that people give to others, either material goods or status or approval, because this creates a relationship with joint obligations, so that the giver is likely to receive in return. So another reason why you conform is it has to be reciprocated. It is what you do to me, I do to you. So if I'm complying with rules, it means you have to comply with rules. I keep telling students, you don't chew gum in my classroom because I will not chew gum. So I wouldn't want coffee in my classroom because I wouldn't bring coffee into the classroom. So things I do will attract things I get back. So conformity comes also from that. So I believe that if I have to come up with certain rules, then I have to be part of those rules too. I have to act in a way that is expected of me. So if I'm acting in a way that is expected of me, you should act in that way that I'm expecting from you too. So that's the third reason there. Do you get the third reason here? Because we expect the same situation in return. So that's why we conform. So when individuals are choosing of a course of action, they weigh up the likely consequences and so are likely to choose one which will result in a benefit to themselves. This means that they are likely to conform to social expectations and to follow the social approved norms and values. So the last point there is the benefits you get. So you weigh it up. It's an action. Conformity is an action. Non-conformity is also an action. So you weigh it up. What is the benefit of this action? What is the consequence of this action? So if the benefit outweighs the benefit outweighs the cost, then you conform. So reasons why people conform within a group is one, self-interest. Two, being afraid of being excluded from the group. The third one is the return. What you get back in return of their action. And the last one is what's the last one? The benefits you get when you compare it with non-conformity. So the benefit of conformity and the cost of conformity, you compare the benefit of conformity and the cost of conformity. That allows you to conform. You also think about how people react to conformity and non-conformity. That's the return you get. That can also allow you to conform. The third one is being excluded. You are being scared of being excluded from the group. And the last one is your self-interest. Or you have interest in that group, you don't want to leave that group.
You don't want to leave it.
So that allows you to conform. So these are reasons why people might want to conform in the society. And aside conformity, we talked about social control, and we talked about sanctions, positive sanctions and negative sanctions. Positive sanctions are rewards we get, accolades, praises, gifts. And negative sanctions are imprisonment, punishment, exclusion. And so that ends factors explaining why people conform in the society. So the next class we're going to talk about mechanism, is it? Yeah, the mechanism through which order is maintained, which are power, ideology, force, and consensus.